Video editing computer catastrophic failure. This is the old video editing machine. I believe it was a 2017 IMac 27-inch, and this went in service, I want to say 2021 or 2022, because I had it for some time at the old location, and then I had it the whole time I've been here. It's been a couple years. I would say I produced probably over 1,000 films using this machine. So I certainly got my value out of it. It's been getting a little flaky the last couple months. It's had miscellaneous errors, it's been kind of unreliable. And then the last couple weeks, you have to excuse that background noise, I have the dishwasher running. The last couple of weeks it's been working actually just fine. And then a couple of days ago I was in the middle of making a video and the screen went black and a little spark dropped out of the bottom left side of the machine and rolled across the video editing table. It was actually kind of scary, and that was the last time the machine ever ran. So I opened it up to extract the drive, which would later turn into another fiasco. And let's take a look at what I saw inside. So I think that this circuitry here is the power supply, and if you look at the center of the screen there, let's see if I can get it into better view here. Sorry about this. This is pretty abysmal camera work. There we go. As you can see in the center of the screen, that component there is like melted. So whatever that component is had some kind of a catastrophic failure. It must have momentarily ignited or exploded. You can see on the other side of the case, right where that component would sit, there's evidence of a very hot flame, almost explosively. So this has catastrophically failed. Now, I've had power supplies go out plenty of times. It's usually a capacitor, and you can recap them, and that's kind of pointless. At some point you just replace it. This, I don't know what that component is. Could this be repaired by the right person? Possibly. I'm not that person. I'm not an Apple tech. I don't like working on the Mac. I don't like the designs of the stuff. I find it very difficult to work on. And especially in this case, because there was some kind of a explosion or something that went on in there. You don't know what kind of extraneous voltage could have got sent through the rest of the machine and will cause something to be flaky over time. So that's the end of this unit. It's going out to scrap. It's not worth playing with to me. I used it for several years. I got my value out of it, so that's it. I extracted the hard drive, and the hard drive is unable to be mounted. It's not broken, it spins up and it reads, but it will not mount. I can't get it to mount on the Mac. I can't get it to mount in Linux. Of course, it won't mount in Windows because stupid Apple doesn't use a file system that's compatible with the rest of the world. So unfortunately, the contents of the drive is gone. I spent several hours on it, and I gave it to a couple other people that are good with the Mac, and they couldn't get it either. So it's, as far as I'm concerned, it's irrecoverable. There wasn't much on there that was lost, because I do follow a lot of good practices in terms of data storage and backup. Most of the documents and pictures and videos I have reside on my file server, which is backed up nightly, and I really don't store much of anything on my workstations, except for, of course, the stuff I'm currently manipulating. So I lost the video that I was working on, but I was able to re-import that from the memory card and make it again. I had a couple of pictures on the desktop. I think most of them were screenshots of the videos for thumbnails, which I don't need because I already uploaded those. And I think there might have been a few pictures that somebody sent me, but I can get that back out of the email. So I'm not worried about that. And then I had a bunch of clips for, I think, 3 productions in iMovies, but it was stuff I had recorded like a couple months back, and it didn't come out that good. It was kind of bland, so I never put the video together. I was just kind of saving it in case I needed some backup content or something. So that's gone. It's not a big deal. It's annoying, but it's not a big deal. And then the only thing that I'm kind of annoyed about is I had a list of videos that I needed to archive because I keep a local copy of the channel. And so I had a list of videos I had produced I needed to add to the archive, and that list was on this computer, and so that list is now gone. Which is very annoying because it's going to take me some time to recreate it, because now I got to go back and compare the videos in the archive to those in the channel, but only in a specific date range. I'm not quite sure when that date range begins, so that's going to take some time to figure out, but again, that can be recovered too. So it's not catastrophic thanks to good practices in data storage, but it's just another reason why I really don't like Apple and why I really hate their products, because the second you go to do something that Apple doesn't intend for you to do, it's just like, screw you, not going to work, no. And it's the same thing here. Like the second you take the drive out of this machine and put it into another machine, it's unreadable. Well, what the heck is that? You always used to be able to take a drive from a failed unit and put it into a different unit and read it. I mean, even on Windows now, you got to type in an encryption key sometimes, but at least you get the error message, whereas Apple just says, nope, not doing it. So, whatever. So this is going, but we have another problem. Now I have no way to edit video. So I had that new Dell computer that I got, and I was not ready to move over to that entirely. In fact, that project ended up to be a complete and total failure, because the video editing program that I was using on Windows, which I did not like as much as I liked iMovie, but I could tolerate it, come to find out that program does not work under Windows 11, which was shocking to me because the program is not old. I had bought that within the last, I would say, 4 years, maybe 3 years. It's not old at all. So I was shocked that it didn't work. So I went and I bought a new copy of it because they had an updated version. So I figured I'll buy the updated version and it should be similar. Well, it's not. It's not. I mean, you wouldn't even recognize it as the same product. It's a completely different interface, completely different layout. Totally unintuitive to me. I can't live with it. And not only that, I could probably learn it if it worked, but it's not stable. I produced a handful of test videos which took an extensive amount of time to create due to the unintuitive new layout, and the videos would have spots in the middle of them where the frame was frozen and it was just audio, so it's not reliable. So I have no video editor for Windows on that new computer. I could throw the old one back. Actually, I have. I put the old one back and I can limp along with that to some degree, but when you're talking about an hour and a half, 2 hour, 3 hour production, it's literally the computer running for 24 hours to save the video, and that's just not practical in my mind. So I was forced to replace this Mac with another Mac. I was able to source a new old stock 2017 model, which is the same. I think it's the same that this was a 2017 as well. It's actually a better specification unit. Well, we can go take a look at it. Here's the specifications. It's a 4.2 GHz quad-core Intel Core i7, which is better than the other one. The other one was an i5, and I think it was only like 3 point something gigahertz. It's a Radeon Pro 560, or rather 580 is what it says on the screen in clear numbers. 8 GB, which I don't know, I don't remember what the graphics chip in the other one was, so we can't make that comparison. And it has 32 GB of memory. It came with 16, but I was able to take the expansion memory from the other unit and put it into this one. And the other one had it had 24 GB, which is kind of a weird number to have. And that's because I guess the original shipment was 8, because it has 2 sticks of 4 in here. So now this one has 4 sticks of 8, which gives us 32. So functionally, it's a nice machine. It drives real nice, very powerful. I like it so far, in the sense that it's made videos correctly for 3 days now. We'll see how long it holds up. Oh, the hard drive is bigger in this one too. This one has a 2 terabytes hard drive, but it's kind of irrelevant because you can be sure I will never store anything on any Mac ever again, because I've had that happen many times at work. Even with the Mac, the second you take the drive out, it's a brick. I don't get it. So that's that. So this was never used. It was old stock. So it's been sitting idle for 6 years. And new old stock can go either way. Sometimes it's perfectly fine. Sometimes with electronics it gets dodgy. So we'll see how this holds up over time. I haven't noticed anything flaky about it so far. Hopefully that remains to be the case. And hopefully this buys me some time. I hope this lasts a couple years so I can figure out a new editor for Windows, or maybe one for Linux. Now that I have time, I can kind of slow the project down and really explore different options. I've had a bunch of suggestions for different Linux ones that I could use, which would be even better than the Windows, because I think the Linux is going to be more sustainable going forwards. Well, we'll see. So that's it for now. We're back in business with a new 27-inch iMac from 2017. It's working good for now. Hopefully it continues to do so.